You just see this steam coming out from the earth. And at certain places, you can just see the geyser, the one we went to, explodes every 4 to 5 minutes, and you just see all this steam come out. So that just shows you how much untapped geothermal energy Iceland sits on. We are in Reykjavik, Iceland, and I'm here for a Fulbright. It's a 4-month term from mid-August to mid-December, and I'll be looking at climate change and its impact on supply chains, specifically on the energy supply chains. I teach operations management at Sacred Heart, both at the undergrad level and the graduate level. And usually when I'm talking about supply chains, we talk about how does my buying a latte impact the Colombian coffee farmer, or how does my buying a t-shirt from H&M impact the Bangladeshi workers, because this supply chain is so vast. Right now I'm working on a case study on the energy supply chain in Iceland. They have really good hydropower and geothermal. These are both considered as clean and renewable. But on the other hand, Iceland also does aluminum smelting from alumina, and that is not so clean because there are a lot of emissions around it. They do it for the GDP, for their employment and their growth of the industry. So I'm going to look at that nexus between development and conservation, write a teaching case study and a research case study, and really bring it back to my students at Sacred Heart so that they can kind of see how this is a very diverse and a very large field with not many easy answers, but how a supply chain can be managed in that context. We were fortunate enough to go to this geothermal power plant. It is 25 kilometers outside of Reykjavik, and it is a power plant where they talk about the geothermal energy. A country like Iceland can take this raw form of energy, which is volcano and really a lot of seismic activity, and have that energy, spin a turbine, which in turn creates electricity. Iceland actually has this geothermal energy, a massive amount of it, as its natural energy, meaning it is already there, it exists there, and they are able to tap this energy for most of their electricity and energy needs for the country. Also, there is a carbon capture plant in Iceland called Carbfix. So at that plant, we were able to see how Carbfix is able to sequester carbon, pump some water into it, make it into carbon crystals that is, somehow absorbed into basalt rock that they then re-inject back into the earth. I participated in a conference at Northwestern University in Chicago, which was on carbon capture, utilization, and storage. When I heard about this in 2010, it completely took me aback that we could actually capture carbon and convert it for utilization and store it away. That time it was a very theoretical construct. To be able to see an actual plant, to see the turbines, to see where that theoretical idea is actually being implemented and being put into place, that part was just coming a full circle. Energy is a big demand, no matter what stage of development you are. Growing up in India, I have seen where this extreme push for development absolutely ravages nature. The West already made its mistakes, so it's not right for US or Europeans to say, no, you should be undeveloped because we have the TVs and the cars and the air conditioning. The hope is that some of the developing countries can leapfrog with the technology, but still the reality is it's going to take many, many years. But if we start now, then at least we'll get there. Students need to feel empowered. And what we can hope as educators is when these students go on to become leaders in the business community, whether they run a non-for-profit or run a big company, that these things that they were exposed to as students inform the decision making when they are the ones making the decisions for their company or for their organization. Sacred Heart is moving to really being recognized for the research that its faculty does. It is helpful for the university when faculty can step out of Fairfield and go internationally to do this research. I talk to faculty at the University of Iceland on a daily basis. I'm going to be teaching a class. So to have that immersive, in-depth experience was just really unexpected. And I really didn't think it would happen, but it did. A few years ago, Iceland was struggling. They were able to take the natural resources of their nation. You know, it's an Arctic country. They don't grow many things here, but they have this rugged environment, fire and ice, all this geothermal, untapped energy. They were able to take these resources of energy and really develop themselves as a nation. And the citizens have a really high standard of living.